Hey, it's Abby here from Homeschool with Moxie, and today I want to give you an inside peek into IEW's Fix It Grammar. This is level 3, the Robin Hood story, and this is generally recommended for grades 6 through 8. So my 6th grader is starting to work through this at the end of her 6th grade year, and then we'll continue it into the fall, into 7th grade. But I want to give you a rundown of why it works, why we love it, tips for using it, and then flip through some of the pages so you can see what a daily 10-15 minute Fix It Grammar lesson will look like in your homeschool. So if you haven't subscribed yet to the Homeschool with Moxie YouTube channel, please do so. We love to bring you wonderful reviews, interviews with really interesting people, and encouragement and actionable strategies for your homeschool adventure. Thanks for joining me today. Let's dive in to Fix It Grammar from IEW. That's Institute for Excellence in Writing.
If you want the opportunity to try Fix It Grammar before you buy, I have a great opportunity for you. If you go to 4onemore.com/try fix it, you will get 4 weeks for free compliments of IEW. Make sure you use our link so they know we sent you. That's 4onemore.com/try fix it. Here's inside of week 1. Every week starts with a Learn It lesson, and this is where the new grammar concepts are introduced. Now, in this case, it's a little bit of review. My student already knew most of this from previous levels, but it reminds them how to mark it and talks them through everything. You'll want to go through this lesson with your student at the beginning of every week. In this case, it keeps going, a little more on capitalization and marks and indentation. Once your student is done with that on day 1, the rest of the week goes in a predictable manner. They will go across the top of a page. It says read it. So they're going to start by reading the sentence, and you'll see a bolded vocabulary word, which your student can then look up in the dictionary and find a definition. Then they'll do mark it, which you will see there, and they've learned how to mark different parts of grammar in the sentence. And then finally fix it, or your capitalization, your end marks, and they'll add a few other things as the year progresses. And then at the bottom, you will find rewrite it, which is a great chance for your child to use their writing to really embed these new concepts as they write the corrected version of the sentence. Remember, the more different ways they can interact with this, the better. And when they're writing and using that kinesthetic and visual learning, it's going to all stick a lot better for your child. Now, in your teacher's book, you will find a scope and sequence where they will explain where you find all the different grammar concepts and which week they show up in. As you know, there are vocabulary words for each lesson each day. So if you do the whole year, you've got 120 new vocabulary words that your student has learned. The benefit of using the teacher's guide is twofold. Number one, it's going to always give you some explanation in here. So if you don't know how to explain why something is being done, you always look at the bottom of the page and there's explanation. Let me find like a harder week. So, here's week 15. You might feel overwhelmed at this, although I will tell you, once your student has learned everything and gotten here, you'll be surprised that they can do all this by themselves really quickly, usually. But if you need explanation, it's right here. The other great thing about the teacher's guide is, of course, it has all the correct markings. And my student uses this herself, and she'll look up and correct her own work, which I think really helps to make her an active learner and get that immediate feedback.
Let me give you several tips for using IEW's Fix It Grammar. Tip number 1 is to start at the right level. If your child has little to no grammar experience, don't just immediately jump to level 3, even if they're in 6th grade. Go back to level 1 and give them that strong foundation. They'll be able to work at their own pace, and they'll eventually catch up or whatever. Like, they will learn it and they will master it. That's most important. Don't just jump right in if your student doesn't have a lot of grammar experience. It's better to build confidence than to rush into more advanced concepts. And this is great. We know this as homeschool parents. Our kids are not all the same. Just because they're in technically 6th grade doesn't mean they're doing 6th grade level work in every area. So don't worry about it. Just go ahead and start with level 1 and work up to it. That's the first tip. Start at the right level. Tip number 2 is to make it part of your daily rhythm. Daily consistency with short little lessons is better than really long lessons that end up in tears. So don't worry about making it long. It's not supposed to be. Your child is only fixing one sentence per day. It's nice and short and sweet, but just make it part of your daily rhythm so that you do get to it every day, and that's going to help. Really, the lessons, they say they could be 15 to 20 minutes. We have found they're closer to 10 minutes a day, and then we're done with grammar. So it's just short and sweet, but that daily consistency is very important. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is to use the teacher's manual. So listen, when you buy the student and teacher's manual, you will have everything you need in here. So if you don't know how to help your student, it's written out for you. And what we love to do is after my daughter does her work, she grabs the teacher's manual and corrects her own work. That immediate feedback is really great. Obviously, if she needs help, she'll ask me for help. But you don't have to be a grammar expert to use Fix-It Grammar because you have the teacher's manual. Tip number 4 is to let your child do the thinking. Don't swoop in and try to work through it all with them. Let them struggle a little bit. They will get it. You can obviously always jump in and help, but let them work on it a little bit, and you will be surprised at how well they can do with Fix-It Grammar. What I love about Fix-It Grammar is it puts your child in the active learner role. They are engaged. It's not dry and boring anymore. It's actually kind of fun. It actually becomes a little bit like a game, and my kids have really enjoyed it. So I love that kids are active learners with Fix-It Grammar, and so let your child do that thinking and don't swoop in too fast. Tip number 5 is don't skip the rewriting. At the very end of every day's lesson, your child will have a chance to rewrite the sentence in their best handwriting using all the proper grammar and punctuation and capitalization, and having that extra bit of being able to be kinesthetic, right? It's using another sense, it's writing, and it's going to put it more in their brain so that they remember the correct way to punctuate and the correct way to capitalize. And that little step of rewriting, which I will admit, I tend to not make sure my daughter does it all the time, but it is so important. So go ahead, and the more senses that are involved, the better your child will retain this information. So this is tip number 5. Don't skip the rewriting. And tip number 6 is to review as needed. It's okay to pause if your child needs more time on a concept. Remember, you're not in a race. You're trying to get your child to mastery level. So go ahead and take that time and review as needed. And remember, this is only written for a 4-day week, so it naturally builds in a little buffer if you need that. This is the beauty of homeschooling, and this is one of the best reasons I say to buy curriculum from people who understand homeschooling. So you don't need to worry, your child is not behind, and go ahead and review as needed. That's tip number 6. I hope this review and flip through of IEW's Fix-It Grammar Level 3 has been really helpful for you as you consider what would be the best fit for your kids and your homeschool. I know you will love their free samples, which you can get 4 weeks for free and try them out. Use my link, which is 4onemore.com/try Fix-It. And we've used this for many years now. We highly recommend it, and I'm pretty sure you're going to love it too. Grammar doesn't have to be really a struggle or this really long subject that you slog through. It can be enjoyable, fun, kind of like a game, and that's what we found with Fix-It Grammar. So check them out and let them know I sent you by using my link, 4onemore.com/try Fix-It. Happy homeschooling.